Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Emily Draws Animals. I'm Emily and we're here today in my studio and I'm going to be illustrating a brand new story. It's called Baked with Kindness. So grab a comfy seat, sit back and enjoy the story. Baked with Kindness. In the quiet village of Fernwell-on-Hatch, where the hedges are always neatly trimmed and everyone knows whose cat is whose, there lived a rather remarkable dog named Bartholomew. Bartholomew was a wiry little terrier with intelligent eyes, muddy paws and a hat. Oh, not just any hat. It was tall, pointed and quite strange indeed. Slightly crooked, with a stitched-on button that didn't seem to serve any purpose at all, and a feather that wagged when he was thinking hard. No one knew where he got it. Some said it blew in on an autumn day and simply landed on his head. Others claimed it used to belong to an old baker wizard who once lived in the hills. Bartholomew never said, he just wore it with pride. He lived with Mrs. Wiggins, the village baker. She was kind, round as a tea cake, and always had flour on her nose. She had taken Bartholomew in as a pup when he wandered into her bakery during a thunderstorm, climbed into her dough bowl and refused to leave. Since then, Bartholomew had become something of a local legend. Every morning at dawn, just as the mist still clung to the stone walls and the crows were finishing off their coffee, or whatever crows do at dawn, Bartholomew would leap out of his bed under the baking table, put on his hat and trot over to the flour cupboard. He'd fling open the doors, drag out sacks of flour, collect large bowls, spoons and whisks ready for his baking day. Now here's the thing about Bartholomew's baking. It was magical. Not in the turning to frogs into princes kind of way, but in the sort of way that made your heart feel lighter. A slice of his walnut loaf would mend old friendships, one nibble of his custard tart might calm a quarrel, and his raspberry buns, well, those had been known to make people burst into song. Every Thursday, he delivered biscuits and tiny cakes around the village in a red wicker basket covered in a floral cloth. He'd visit old Mr. Tallow in his garden, the school children at break time, and even leave surprise scones on windowsills for anyone having a bad day. But Bartholomew wasn't just a baker, he was a listener. When people spoke to him, they felt that he understood properly. He made people feel seen. He'd tilt his head, blink thoughtfully, and somehow you'd walk away feeling that whatever was troubling you had already begun to melt away, just like sugar on a warm tart. And then, once a month, Bartholomew hosted a secret tea party for anyone that wanted to come. Behind the bakery, under the old apple tree, he'd lay out handmade biscuits, shaped like bones, bread that looked like slippers, and the occasional hedgehog muffin. There would be liver treats, beefy buns and gravy puddings served in flower pots. No one knew how he managed it all. One evening, as he sat in his thinking chair, a cushioned stool by the back window, Bartholomew pressed his wet nose against the glass and huffed. A condensation cloud appeared, so he wrote something in it on the glass. Kindness is best served warm. That became his motto, and though he rarely said a word aloud, the village of Fernwell-on-Hatch spoke of him often, because in a world that could often sometimes feel fast, noisy and scary, Bartholomew reminded everyone that listening to one another, warm pastries and a very strange hat could make magic. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to hit the like button and perhaps leave a comment below. And if you'd like to join me next time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Until then, see you next time. Bye-bye.